Hi, this is Stephanie, and today I'm going to talk about colonoscopy and sigmoidoscopy preps and what to expect during the procedure. A colonoscopy, the short of things, is when you go to the doctor and they take a flexible scope thing to see inside of your colon, which is your large intestine. The only difference with the sigmoidoscopy, it's slightly less invasive. They scope your rectum and the sigmoid colon, which is just about 18 inches in. That's what I'm having done tomorrow. This is the first time I've had a sigmoidoscopy, so I'm a noob at it. I'm not really sure what to expect, but as for colonoscopies, I'm pretty sure I've had 6 or 7. So why do you have a colonoscopy? Well, it's the only way for anyone to see inside your large intestine, to see what's going on, to see if everything's functioning properly, to check its health, and to see if there's any polyps or diverticulitis. Also, it's the only way to diagnose Crohn's accurately or ulcerative colitis. Who should have colonoscopies? Anyone that's over the age of 50, because that's when most people start showing signs of problems, and also anyone that has any kind of intestinal issues. They'll recommend having a colonoscopy just to check the health of the colon. My first colonoscopy was scheduled 2 days after I met with my doctor, so I didn't have a lot of time to think about what was going to happen. It was just start the prep immediately, just about. The only thing I knew about a colonoscopy is what I saw in King of the Hill when Hank Hill had issues going to the bathroom, and let me tell you, it's nothing like that. You have to arrive at the place about 2 hours before your scheduled procedure. You know, you get an IV, they check your blood pressure, put on a lovely hospital gown, then they wheel you into the room, they put you to sleep, you wake up, you're in recovery. You don't actually remember anything that's happening, you don't feel anything. The worst part of the whole thing is the prep, and that's what I'm going to go over right now. 5 days before your procedure, you have to go off certain medications, aspirin, multivitamins especially that have iron. They give you a list. And the reason you have to go off these is they change the color of your large intestine, of your colon. So they want all of that out of your system so that they get an accurate view. 3 days before, you have to go off things like lettuce, tomatoes, raw fruits and vegetables, beans, because those can leave things in your colon. So they want everything out of your colon as much as possible. That's the whole reason for the prep. And then a day before the procedure is where the fun stuff starts. You're on clear liquids that whole day. That includes, water, clear fruit juices like apple juice or white grape juice. You can have colas and sodas, no dairy. You can have ice pops, but they can't be red, blue, or purple because, again, that can discolor your colon. Depending upon the prep that you have, it's going to be generally around the same thing. Around 4 o'clock or so, you're going to have to start drinking a laxative. And depending upon which doctor you go to, those can change. The last time I had to drink Miralax, and it was 510 milligrams of Miralax mixed with 76 ounces of clear liquid. That was a lot of liquid. What I was going to do when this was a colonoscopy for tomorrow was this thing called Go Lightly, which is really funny, and it ended up being a gallon that you would have to drink. So it's a lot of liquid that you have to drink, and it's over the course of an hour. They do recommend you drinking in 8-ounce increments and drinking it slowly because it can cause bloating and nausea. And let me tell you, the stuff tastes like baking soda, and they always try to flavor it to make it taste better. Then it just tastes like lemon baking soda. So if you have the option of mixing it with something with flavor, I would just stick with water. Because otherwise, like I said, you're drinking orange baking soda or you're drinking apple juice with baking soda. Not recommended. And then most of the time around 8 to 10 o'clock that evening, that is if you're having the procedure the next morning, you have to do another laxative, another round. And most of the time it's not as much liquid. Most of the time it's just 24 to 36 ounces. So that's not quite as bad. And then after that you can have no liquids of anything until after your procedure, because they do put you to sleep. They do put you under anesthesia, and they just don't want, anything to possibly come back up. That's just the thing with any medical procedure. I do recommend that if you're having a colonoscopy, I would recommend scheduling it in the morning, because as I've said, 8 hours before your procedure, you can't have anything to drink, and it's much easier for those 8 hours to be while you're sleeping and not the next morning, so you just sit around being hungry and get a headache. With my sigmoidoscopy that I'm having tomorrow, the prep's not quite as bad. I was able to eat breakfast this morning and have a light lunch, and now it's 6 o'clock, and I have to do the first amount of prep. And the first thing I have to drink, well, actually the only thing I have to drink, is this stuff called magnesium citrate oral solution saline laxative. I picked this up at the pharmacy. We won't talk about which one, so just ignore the thing. It came in 2 flavors. There was the lemon flavor, which is what I chose, and then there was a cherry flavor that was red. So I figured the lemon was the lesser of the 2 evils. So that's at 6 o'clock tonight. My procedure's at 8 o'clock in the morning. And the thing that I have to do in the morning, 2 hours before I leave home, so that's going to be about 5:30, is something that I've never had to do before, and I'm a little leery of it, are 2 fleet enemas at 5:30 in the morning. Not sure how this is going to go. I'll do a follow-up video in the morning and just give you a short snippet of what that was like. So that's the prep, and as I've said, the prep is the worst part of having the procedure. Don't let pain or anything like that, or embarrassment of having the procedure, stop you from getting it. If you are, again, over the age of 50, you definitely need to schedule one. If you've had any kind of potty issues, I would definitely recommend you going to the doctor, talking about it, and if they do recommend you having one, absolutely go with it. It's just 1 day of having to do clear liquid, so it's really not that bad. To even show you how not bad it is, I'm going to taste my lovely, ooh, it's slightly carbonated, lemon flavored baking soda. I'm crossing my fingers that it's not going to taste that bad. If you do ever have to do Miralax, the cool thing with Miralax is it doesn't have any flavor. It is flavorless. The only thing is it changes the consistency of whatever you mix it in. I mix mine with water, and it kind of gives it the texture of loose slime. So, just bear that in mind. It doesn't taste bad. Miralax doesn't, but it does change the consistency. So, here goes the magnesium citrate. Cheers. And it tastes just like I thought it would. Very much a heavy lemon flavor. Very, very lemony. It is honestly not that bad. It was a little not what I expected. And they do recommend you drinking this with 8 ounces of water, which I definitely will be drinking. Another thing you need to keep in mind during your prep is to drink a lot of liquid. You don't want to go into the procedure dehydrated. That makes it hard for them to get a vein for when you have an IV. So this is part 1. There will be more parts tomorrow after I do the enemas, and then again after the procedure, and possibly during the procedure, during the check-in if they let me take the video camera. So until next time.